how many times you heard the sentence, cybersecurity is a team sport? Or it takes a network to fight a network. This is a very common sentence that we hear a lot of times, and this is exactly what we are being created for. The European Cybersecurity Competence Center was created with the idea of building this network to fight the other network, to prepare the ecosystem, to prepare the industry to the cybersecurity challenge that we are facing together. We have been created in 2021. We are a new body of the union. We are based in Bucharest. But even though the creation is from 2021, we have been operational only since a year and a half. So we became financially independent at the end of 2024, and now it's 1 year that we are working on our own legs to ensure that we fulfill our mandate. We are within the University of Bucharest, even though we are a union body. This is done to create the synergy between education, research, and implementation and operation. You see our offices there. What are the main objectives of the regulation? Why are we being built? First of all, to reinforce the EU leadership and strategic autonomy on cybersecurity and digital sovereignty. We hear this a lot. The topic of digital sovereignty, technological sovereignty, is well present in the Ninisto report, in the Draghi report, in the Letta report, is one of the pillars that ensure competitiveness in the future. By the way, 2 days ago, the Nobel Prize on Economics exactly focused on that, how innovation help boost the growth of the economy. So it's really nice that we see this also recognized by the scientific community. Second objective is to support the technological capacity of the Union. So the second objective is more on ensuring that as a community we grow. So not just involving research, but also ensuring that we have funds for the uptake of technology. So technology already existing, how we make it marketable, how we make it useful for the community. And the third one is a bit of a result of the first two. So increase the competitiveness of our industry on the global scale. This is important because we say, first of all, implementation of regulation help us become more competitive, but more investment, more cross-pollination of idea is also what makes us more competitive on the global economy. The last element of our activity is, which is also quite important, the procurement and management of large-scale systems. We will see later a couple of these huge projects that we are now doing together with member states. Now, how do we achieve this goal? Well, first of all, there were three ways of doing. I say the final goal is building the community, building the team. We do this, first of all, by setting the long-term strategy, so setting the priority and the strategic agenda. Once this is done, we'll help the network to grow with funds, with dedicated funds, through grant or through procurement. And then the third element is how we put everything together with the construction of a cyber community. So these are the three levels of implementation. And we do this using two main budgets of the Union. The Horizon Europe program, we are responsible not for the work program, but for the implementation of the Horizon Europe. Horizon is a program for which we found 100% of the cost. It's focusing on the research and innovation, especially cutting-edge cybersecurity research, quantum. And quantum, we just see a panel on post-quantum, is one of our key objectives. DEP is a new program of the Union. Horizon is the biggest and the most famous program, which, by the way, will also be in the next financial circle, in the next MFF. DEP was a specific project created from 21 to 27 to ensure uptake of technology. 4 pillars. We are responsible for the pillar on cyber, and for cyber, we manage both the strategy and the implementation. So here the idea is support uptake of technology, make technology available for the industry. The agenda, which is somehow a guiding light, our star, our polar star, is done every 2 years. We are now working on the second revision of the agenda. The agenda set the roadmap. The current one has 27 action and a priority from AI and quantum, so from fundamental research to 5G, 6G, to cyber in space, cyber in the health, education. So it's a very broad document. I encourage you to have a look at it on the website. From the agenda, which again is high-level document, we draft a more actionable work program. The work program has a 3-year rolling base, and on the work program we really identify chapter by chapter, line by line, what type of investment we do, what type of project we sponsor. The strategic agenda is done together with our community, so I started by talking about the community. Our first community is the network of the member state. In each member state, we have founded, together with the national authority, a national coordination center. In Spain, this is within Ibiza, and this the NCC Spain here in León. They are responsible for ensuring a connection between the market, the industry, yourself, and the European funds. So very important role. In the agenda, we also have a clear orientation. Our mandate asks us to focus particularly on SME. So the agenda has a number of actions particularly focused on SME. SME, we know, is 99% of the economy. And in some member states, including Spain, these are really the backbone of the economical growth. The next instrument is the funds. On one side, we have the strategy. Then how do we implement the strategy into actions? We do this through funds. I mentioned before Horizon and DEP. Where do we stand so far? So the ECCC was started, I say, in 2024, but before that, Commission, together with a small group of member states, already started developing project and implementing activity. So we have, at the moment, more than 500 million already invested in the economy. These are debt money. That means that the other 50% have been given, provided by the industry. So we have more than 1 billion already mobilized on cyber. The debt budget is 1.6 billion. We started late implementation, so we won't be able to consume all of it, but we will definitely reach maybe around 1 billion or a little bit shy of 1 billion by the end of 2027. So significant amount of money. We have 180 projects. We just closed a call last week, so we expect another 50 to 60 projects to be sponsored on top of this one, so we will reach around 250 projects, thousands of beneficiaries. The beneficiaries are the company that a member state received the funds. The number is high also because we provide funds to the NCC, to the member state, for their own financing at national level. The so-called financial support to third party, which target startup, SME, small entity, which cannot really access, for which is difficult to access European funds. On Horizon, we have around 200 million project, another large call of 90 million we closed at the beginning of November, so we reach in 2025 almost 300 million in Horizon. Horizon projects are less because generally, considering it's 100% funding, considering that these are large research activity, these are generally bigger in scope, so there are less project finance, but still we have 180 beneficiaries at the moment. Why is Horizon important? Well, first of all, because we need to build the value chain from the research to the final implementation. In the Niinistö report on resilience, there is a big emphasis on focus focusing funds on fundamental research, where Europe is lagging a little behind, where we need to work together with the member state. We have few calls open. One is the call Cyber8. It will be open by the end of this month. This is around 100 millions, and again, that's the call of 90, which will close in November. Now, on Horizon, I say, okay, around 90 millions in 2025. What do we look here? Mainly generative AI, application of AI for cybersecurity, privacy, enhanced technology, integration of PQC, cryptography. So we are preparing for the post-quantum world, and also the application of quantum on national activities. The third element of the activity, so I started with the community. I want to finish this part with the community. The third element is the construction of this team. So how we want to do that? We want to do by involving everybody through a dedicated platform called the Atlas. This has been going on for a while, but we are finally close to the entry into operation of the Atlas. This week, we will have a governing board approving the final element of the Atlas, and then we open to launch in the next 2 to 3 weeks. The Atlas is it's a repository for all companies could register themselves. All companies established in the EU could register through the portal, which we make available in their member states. So here through the NCC Spain, anybody who is coming from academia, from industry, from research center, from a standardization authority, everybody who is subject to the regulation could be part of the community. The community will be used as, first of all, as a platform for us to tell you where do we want to bring the European strategy investments in the future. We really need to use it for gathering feedback from you, because at the moment we do not we could do better to involve all of you. So we want to use the community to collect feedback on your priority, on what you see as needs from the industry, and how we can help you with that. And the third element is a partnership between each other. I have seen now recently, for example, on the call for hospitals, where there was a desperate need to find partner, and it's not easy for a company in one country to find a company who could help them in another country. With the platform, we want to make this easier. So we want to replace part of the interaction which normally would have by knowing someone with a more organized and methodical approach. So the platform, the community, this will start being built in 2025. As a follow-up of that, we will also create an advisory group, which will be selected from members of the community. The advisory group will help the ECCC, will help the board, will help the community to be more present in the decision-making process. So 20 persons. We will publish also the call for application by the end of October. We want this to be in place by March, by mid of March, and the community, the advisory group, will become a part of our governance, together with the governing board and together with the NCC network. And then now to close a little bit on the future, I start by telling you what we have achieved so far. What do we have left for 2025, 26, 27? So I say that the remaining funds for that are around 370 million, 360 million. There is a bit of a number changing there, but let's say in that area to be consumed from now to 2027. And we will focus on a number of areas. The first is, again, technology, new technology. We will have an area of investment on AI. We want to use AI for cyber and cyber for AI, particularly starting with project focused on government. So use of AI for government entity, use of AI for early threat assessment on national SOCs, on national hubs, and then spill over to the SME, to the industry. Use of AI for the industry. So the same technology with a slightly different approach on national and on private entity. We have a large chunk of funds on quantum or preparation to post-quantum. In particular, one large tender we are launching by around the end of November, latest the beginning of December. This will be 25 million. This will be a new entity for Europe. It will be a testing platform, a testing infrastructure, which will allow SME startup to test their algorithm on quantum. So we want to copy or duplicate what NIST is doing in the US, creating our own European testing infrastructure for quantum. This will be open to all European companies, and also under certain conditions to non-EU company. You will access to a platform. We'll try to either make it free or at very low cost, and you will be able to test your own algorithm. We want to test security of the algorithm. We want to test compatibility. We want to test interoperability to make sure that what we develop there could we then use and in the market. Again, this is the first time we do something like that. I mentioned before that we focus on, there are some large projects. This is one of these large projects. On this one, we will build future work. There is a EU quantum strategy. We want to use this, for example, also in the future for verification or for testing or for certification, if this is the decision they will take. On quantum, we will also work on the transition of, and this is a call which, by the way, already closed, transition from PKI to PQC, so creating PQC-resistant key. It was a 15 million project. We got a number of good offer. We are now working on selecting this for the future. And the last element on quantum would be use of the migration of this technology on quantum for the national hubs, for the national SOCs. Second area of investment is on the SOCs, on the hubs. You might not know, but together with the member state, we have created a network, a web of cross-border hubs. We have 3 consortium now already established, which cover, I think we have a 22, 23 member state. The hub act a bit as an early warning system. So from the cross-border hubs, there is a connection to national hubs, and there is a connection to private SOCs. So in case of attacks, in case of early warning, the information is shared from the local level to the national to the European level. And this is the first time we see a cooperation of member states also on intelligence sharing. So we have already 2 running. The third one has been selected very recently. We signed the contract early 2026. This will be the backbone of our protection of critical infrastructure and will really constitute like a cyber shield around our infrastructure. Similar to that, a new initiative, it's a hub or SOCs for the undersea cable. We all know how critical submarine cables have become this year. Since the beginning of the war, invasion of Russia to Ukraine, we want to ensure that we created something to protect those cables. So we'll start by a small entity which will focus on the cyber side or the digital side. We want to build on this in the future, if a member state will allow that. Also with other type of intelligence, other type of technology, we want to make it a fusion center of technology where we can use defense data, naval data, to protect our infrastructure. Following from that, another large investment will be on readiness of the EU entity. in preparation to the NIS2 and CRA regulation. There is one large project called Secure. Spain is also part of it, where we want to help company to be ready for the CRA. So there would be a testing platform. You could test your technology. There would be knowledge material. So this is an agreed effort with the member state. It's a consortium that want to help the economy to be ready for that. Another large project on preparedness and resilience is on hospital. Hospital is our other critical element in our ecosystem, in our society, which are heavily attacked by hackers for ransomware. We just closed the project of 30 million for the creation of a number of, first of all, a gap analysis, and then SOCs for monitoring hospital. This is also very important for all of us. Then the last two, one would be on the innovation of support of the NCC network. NCC are essentially in providing funds to the small and medium enterprise regional level. We want to continue with this in the future. And then for closing, on dual-use technology. This is now only 3% of our budget. It will grow in the future. We see how dual-use and civilian are extremely important. So with that, I want to close. I say that to close, regardless of what you do, whether you do a small end software, whether you do large project for member state, it's really important that you engage with us to ensure that we build this community together. We want all of you to be part of this journey, so please engage with me or engage with our friends here in CIBE and the NCC so that we build this team together. Thank you.